bit more to cover an imperfection, but other really cool stuff that we're going to do after we get some color on this truck. I'm not going to be showing a lot of the sanding. An hour or 2 hours. I mean, you literally would watch me sand for 7 hours. Take my 18mm and get all these bolts loose and pull the bumper off. Now I can get right. The last two will be the supporting. Right off right there. Pull out. And you're probably wondering, why do you have to go through all that extent? When a lot of that is, you know, just and stuff to make them nice and black, put a little rust proofer on them as well. Hey, look, I'm not going to get this truck back, and then a year later I'm going to have it 15 years, if not longer. They say 15 years. Get some of the rest of these pieces off this truck, and that's why. And we'll actually move the camera over here. A color match to me is considered sloppy. Going to be doing some more body work on it. Seriously getting into doing some body work on it. We got to put some of the other little imperfections that's off this truck, and we're getting ready to do some cool stuff with it. So stay tuned to watch serious body work on it. I went ahead and got a worked out on it, and now I'm just kind of working my way this way, filling in the difference between the paint. Stripe was on there for God only knows how many. It adhered to the paint peeled off with it. Now the rest of it, and then we'll epoxy prime over top of it. Here, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. It's this little, I'm going to take some other style easier than the actual, and it takes a little bit more time. So this way I can actually get more imperfections, and then we'll actually go ahead and be ready to spray some paint. This little stuff right here. And the reason I'm actually getting away with this right now, just so you know, I can actually put this right back on and it'll adhere to the primer. That was created when it peeled off, and sand all this off, and then we will get this thing. Okay, so if you notice, we pretty well got the bedside. I better pick that up before I step on it, and I've got a mess. But here, trying to get it to where I can build them up and they'll sand smooth. But that's what we're doing. So let's get back into it and. Okay, so we pretty well got this where we want it. Now I'm going to go ahead and let's hit it with the sander. Now, we'll continue working our way on down prime this and then start working our way on toward the front of the truck. Marking some spots on this while it was sped up. I'll show you why, because there's none, there's another one before I get it primed, but at least we found them. Not that it's as close as I possibly can before I get the primer on it. Let's get in here and get these dents filled, and then we'll sand some more. We got the bed pulled back here. We've got most of the body work done on the bed, so let's go and that way we know where we're going to go with it. So let's get this done. We're getting somewhere. And honestly, I'm going to do a separate video on how to remove these doors, show you how these door panels come off. But for right now, I'm trying to go ahead and get this as well as some other stuff. So I'll show you what the bolts we got to get. Now I've already got two, and there's three right there. So a 10mm with an extension. I'll reach out here and spin it off with my fingers. Catch it, and you can reach down in there and get it. It's not that big of a deal. Let's go ahead and shut the door on the bottom. So and get it. Oh, there she's starting to go now. Like I said, you've just got the 3 bolts that hold it on. Get around it because we are doing a color change here. Doesn't really have to be perfect because it's going to be covered. That's what I'm doing. Let's get back into sanding and taping this thing. All right, so I'm getting this thing taped up here and cover all the windows and glass. So let's go ahead and get this one taped down. Then I'll show you what I do to make that. The screws strip out. So what I've got to do is I've got to take this. So let's go ahead and get this off here. That way I can get this sanded and hopefully get this ready for the final sanding. So let's get into this and get this thing cut off. Blind. This down just little by little. Almost. Get into it very much at all. That's what I wanted to do. That little piece right there, which we'll go with. Go. Piece of trim off, we can go ahead and get our body work done. There you go. That's what happens when something gets stuck like that and you just kind of, we'll just fix that hole and drill a new one. Okay, so we have just about got sanded off to where I want it. You're probably going to want one dust control because it just does a better paint job when you don't actually have as much dust flying around between the sandpaper and the product that I'm sanding. That's what I'm doing, and let's get back into this and get this finished up. Now I've got to finish this spot down here on the door and start working on the other side. So let's go ahead, I'll get this sanded and we can get this. Okay, so as you can tell, I'm over on the other side of the truck now. Go ahead and prime this body side one more time, and then we should be in a pretty good spot. So just because it cuts down on the dust for one, just trying to get some of the tail just by me sanding that. So let's go ahead and get this sanded, and then we'll show you on the other side of the truck. And now if you notice, I've had a little bit of stripe that was on the truck before, in case you haven't been watching. Strip to cover up the original body line. And you're going to have a pronounced body line down the entire truck. That's finished out, and then we'll continue on and sand the rest of the truck. And I will prime over top of this again as well. I'll sand it, and we're good to go. But for now, alright, so quick recap here. You have seen me get the other side, and now I'm going to go ahead and take this door panel off, and that's what I'm going to be doing. I told you guys I'd show you how to out. I'll show you where everything is at real quick. Access to everything back that we're going to need and break it because they do come apart. Okay, come on. Now. Pull this out. Get the one I need to pick. All right, we're going to reach down in here in the front. Snap the plug. And once we get that loose, or one loose, we'll do the same thing and get it started. Reach in the back, but it will just pop right out. All right, now that's where we'll go get our little trim tool, and we'll work our way around this, which I've got sitting right here. I'll start out here on this side. Just gentle pressure. All right, and your door panel's free. And that gets secured back on. And that's really all there is to it on the door panel. Paint up underneath that. I think it's a much better finish. But remove the mirror. Pretty simple. Have these, but you got a little rubber plug right here. Wow. Smells better after that. So let's go ahead and get to that easily with an extension. It's not that big of a deal. You can reach down here and pick it off. So, since seems like I dropped one. Hey, look at that. It come right out. And then I dropped it. All right. So now you just take your extension, put it back on, and I'll show you what I'm taking. That basically 1, 2, and get them broke loose. Now you want to hold on to your mirror to lift right off. It won't pop right out of there. Alright, so I am mixing up some glazing compound. That way I can go ahead and prime it. I'm high-tech glazing compound. It is very. I want to get this as smooth as I possibly can. I know I've said that 100. It's true. I'm trying to cut down as much as I, do our overall sand on this. So let's go ahead. So let's get back after it.